It was supposed to be just another neighborhood party. Laughter, drinks, and good company. But by the end of the night, my world fell apart. My name is Lisa. I'm 24, and my husband Jack, 26, has just walked out of my life, and I don't know if I'll ever get him back. We've been married for 3 years. Jack and I met in college. He was the quiet, thoughtful type, while I was the outgoing social butterfly. He fell for my energy, and I fell for his kindness. But somewhere along the way, I stopped appreciating that kindness. Maybe I started taking it for granted. Or maybe I convinced myself that his gentleness was weakness. Either way, I made a series of mistakes, and now I'm paying the price. Jack is an introvert. He prefers quiet nights at home with a book or a movie, while I thrive in the company of friends. Despite our differences, he always supported my social life. He'd stay home while I went out, never complaining, always making sure I had everything I needed. Over time, I started seeing his accommodating nature as something to mock rather than cherish. It started small, little jokes here and there. My friends and I would tease him for being too eager to please, for always putting my needs above his own. They'd call him whipped, and I'd laugh along. Jack would hear these jokes and brush them off with a smile, but I saw the flicker of hurt in his eyes. Still, he never said a word. One night, after a few drinks at a neighborhood barbecue, things went too far. The conversation turned to our partners, and my friends started joking about how Jack did everything for me. Feeling tipsy and emboldened, I joined in. I painted him as a pushover, someone who never said no, someone I had completely under my control, and then there was silence. I turned and saw Jack standing there. His face was pale, his expression unreadable, but his eyes, those warm, gentle eyes, were cold and distant. He walked over and quietly asked me to talk. The party noise faded as I followed him, my heart pounding. I thought he was going to tell me I'd gone too far. I thought we'd argue, maybe make up the next day like we always did. Instead, he told me he was done. "I can't do this anymore, Lisa," he said, his voice calm but firm. "I've spent years trying to make you happy, sacrificing my time, my comfort, my self-respect, and all you've done is mock me for it. I deserve better than this. I'm leaving." It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a plea for attention. It was a decision, and I could see in his eyes that he meant it. When we got home, he packed my things. I begged him to stop, to talk, to give me one more chance, but he wouldn't even look at me. By the time he was done, my bags were on the porch, and he told me to leave. I stood there in the dark, my world crashing down around me. The friends who'd laughed with me were nowhere to be found. The neighbors watched from their windows, their pity cutting through my shame. And the man I loved, the man I'd hurt, closed the door without looking back. Now I'm staying with my parents, trying to figure out where to go from here. I've called Jack, texted him, begged for forgiveness, but he won't respond. He's done with me, and the worst part is knowing I did this to myself. I want to believe there's hope. I want to believe I can change and win him back. But maybe I've finally pushed too far. Maybe this time, there's no going back, and the silence on the other end of the phone makes that possibility feel very, very real.